Hey guys, it is me, Allie. Welcome back to my channel. I am not going to be dragging this intro out because I'm pretty sure you already know what the big surprise is according to the title of this video. But yes, I am pregnant, we are expecting, and we are just so over the moon excited about this blessing. I can't even put into words what I am feeling right now. It feels so good to finally be able to just sit down and talk openly about it with all of you guys. Before I actually jump into this video, I did just want to say two things. First and foremost, I am coming down with a little bit of a cold, so I sound a little nasally. It is pretty much inevitable at this point. I am a teacher and I am bound to get sick multiple times throughout the year. I have to be very cautious now and make sure I'm taking care of it right away, which I am doing. But again, it's inevitable. I'm a teacher. I'm around like 25 to sometimes 50 kids a day. So if I sound very nasally, that is why. I did just get my flu shot, so that's pretty good. But yeah, I am coming down with like a little bit of a cold. It's nothing major, but it's definitely a little congested in this area right now. The second thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was how grateful I am for all of you. I put up the reveal pregnancy post on my Instagram like 2 or 3 days ago, and the amount of support that I have received, excuse me, I do have pregnancy brain. That is something that you're going to notice in this video a lot. Pregnancy brain is a real thing, but the amount of support that I received after putting up that photo, it is so incredible. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for reaching out to me and for all of your kind words and all of your encouragement. It did not go unnoticed, and I am forever thankful for every single one of you. So the last thing I wanted to talk about before we jump on into this video is this isn't the vision that I had for my YouTube reveal. I actually had a really awesome video planned. When we found out that we were pregnant and we were going to start telling our family and friends, I had this awesome idea that I wanted to put onto YouTube. I wanted to film all the reactions of all of my family and friends when we told them that we were pregnant, and then I wanted to make a compilation video and I wanted to upload it to YouTube. That didn't work. That didn't work out, not even a little bit. I was violently nauseous throughout my entire first trimester, to the point that I couldn't even get off the couch for like days, if not weeks, if not months. I just was so nauseous. I never got nauseous in the morning. It wasn't morning sickness for me. It was night sickness, if that is even a thing. It is a thing. It's very real. But I would get so sick at night and I couldn't even open my eyes. So I honestly ended up telling all of like my favorite people in my life, all of my loved ones, all my family members, all of my close friends, through text messages or through FaceTime, which is so lame. It's so lame. In my personal opinion, it is not the way that I wanted to do it at all, but I knew that there was no way I was going to be able to meet up with all of them with how sick I was. Knock on wood, the nausea has almost completely gone away. I haven't felt it in like maybe 2.5 weeks so far, and thank you, because it was really rough. Like, it was really rough. So we didn't get to do the whole video compilation. I ended up just sending the ultrasound to my family and friends through either FaceTime or through text message. Some people I told in person, but I still wasn't feeling great at that time, so I didn't film their reactions because I wasn't feeling my very best. So yeah, instead we're gonna do a Q&A. After I posted that picture on Instagram, I did put on my Instagram a story asking if anybody had any questions about the pregnancy, and I received so many awesome questions. So I compiled a list, and I figured this video I would just go through all the questions and answer like the most common asked questions that I got, and some very interesting questions as well. I told you guys, no bars, nothing held back. Anything that you want to know, ask me, and if I have time, I will answer it in this video. So if you guys have any other questions, concerns after watching, please ask them in the comments below. And again, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all your support, for all your kind words, and for all your encouragement. It means seriously so much to me. I love you guys, and let's get on into the Q&A. So I basically just screenshotted all of the most common asked questions, as well as some like interesting questions and some pretty like intriguing questions, and I'm just going to be going through them. No specific order, but I will start with the question that I received the most. It's actually 2 questions that I received the most. I probably got asked this like 100 times, and it is, how far along are you and when are you due? So as of today is October 21st. I believe it's October 21st. It is Sunday, so hopefully that is October 21st. I don't really know, to be quite honest with you. As of today, I am 3 months, 1 week, and 5 days, and I am due on April 23rd. Next, how did you find out that you were pregnant? I actually found out that I was pregnant before we even took a test. Call it mother's intuition, if you will. I found out when we went to Nashville. When we went to Nashville, it was the week that I was supposed to be getting my period, and everything felt very, very off. I was supposed to be getting my period like 3 days into our Nashville trip, and on day 1 of our Nashville trip, after we flew there, I just didn't feel right. Now, I get like period symptoms, I get the cramping, I get the bloating, but this was a feeling that I have never had before. Everything hurt. My boobs were killing me, which never happens to me when I get my period. I was so bloated, like so bloated. And like I mentioned, I actually bloat a lot before my period, but this was like a different kind of bloating. And I know that everybody's body is different. My body bloated so much the first 2 months of my pregnancy. I actually looked more pregnant within month like 1, 2 into the 3rd month than I do now, because a lot of that bloating went down. My friend is a nurse. I talked to her about it. It's called progesterol, I believe. It's like your body is bloating to make way for the baby, and then it'll just like go down as the baby starts to grow. All the clothes that I had packed, and I did buy a bunch of clothes before we went to Nashville, like brand new clothes, so I only bought them like 2 weeks before that trip, 2 weeks prior. None of them fit. Like literally couldn't even button up my shorts. I was very, very uncomfortable. I was talking to Adam and I was like, I don't know, I don't think I'm getting my period. Like I think I'm pregnant, and I will be the first one to admit we have been trying, and every single month towards that time of the month, I'm like, I think I'm pregnant. I think I'm pregnant. I think I'm pregnant. So like when I said it to Adam, he's like, you're not pregnant, you're just bloating, you're gonna get your period, because I've literally said it like every single month prior to that. And this was a different feeling. I felt so weird. So towards the end of the trip, I still hadn't had my period. We came home, I think it was on like a Thursday, and then we had a birthday party at a zoo on the Sunday. I was still feeling very sick. I was feeling nauseous. I just wasn't feeling like myself. So after that trip, I was like, we need to get a pregnancy test. I really think that we're pregnant. Adam was very skeptical because, again, I said all the time, like, I think I'm pregnant, I think I'm pregnant, I think I'm pregnant. So we would buy all of these pregnancy tests. And pregnancy tests are expensive. They're like $35. They're really, really expensive. But I basically said to him, like, I don't feel right. Like, I think I'm pregnant. So we went out, we got a pregnancy test. I took the pregnancy test and I was right. I was pregnant. This is a very funny question to piggyback off of that previous question. This one says, did you and your husband find out together, or did you reveal it in a super cute way? There was no romantic reveal to my husband. He went out, he bought the pregnancy test, he went in the bathroom with me, he watched me pee on the stick, and then we just sat there with the pregnancy test, just completely saturated in my pee, because that's how it works. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat anything. And we just watched it, and we waited, and we saw the 2 little bars, and it was like super surreal. And then me being the person that I am, I didn't trust it, so I had to take the second one, which is a digital one. He stood in the bathroom, watched me pee on the stick again for the second time, and then we just stood there and waited for the answer. If you've ever done a pregnancy test before, the one with the 2 lines shows up rather quickly. The digital one takes like 10 minutes. Or maybe it doesn't take 10 minutes, but it feels like it is taking like an eternity. So we just stood there and held that pregnancy test in our hands and just kept staring at it. Like, I don't even think we looked at each other. I think we kept looking at each other being like, why is it taking so long? What's going on? What does this mean? And then finally it came up as yes. So to answer your question, it was not romantic. I don't even think it was cute, but we wanted to do it together. He's my soulmate and I wanted him to be a part of it. So yeah, he watched me pee on a stick. It was real romantic. I'm trying to answer these in somewhat of a chronological order, but I'm just apologizing in advance because I'm pretty sure from here on out it's just going to be very, very scattered and very, very out of sequence. So let's move on to the next question, which is, did you find anything that helped with the nausea? Yes and no. When I was feeling very, very violently nauseous, one of the only things that I could do was just lay on the couch for hours at a time. I would close my eyes. I couldn't even keep my eyes open for most of it because I would get very, very dizzy. I couldn't necessarily nap because I was feeling so sick that my body wouldn't let me nap. So as boring as it sounds, I would just have to lay on the couch for hours at a time with my eyes closed, rubbing my stomach. When it comes to like food or drink, there were some things that helped. They didn't like ease it completely, but anything in the ginger realm, I would do ginger suckers, ginger ale, hot ginger tea. That helped a lot. And when it came to food, honestly, the only thing that would settle my stomach when I was feeling really, really nauseous was carbs. Like anything carby would make me feel better. Pasta, I've never had so much pasta in my entire life. Pizza, especially like the crust on pizza. Bread, bagels have been like my number one go-to item since I got pregnant. So anything really carby or anything that had ginger really, really helped me a lot. I'm kind of nervous to answer this next question. It's very controversial, and I know that people have very strong opinions on the topic, but the question is, are you going to do a gender reveal party? I am not going to be doing a gender reveal party because we're not finding out the gender. And again, I know that's like super controversial. I know that there are a ton of people that are for it. There are a ton of people that are against it. It's just part of my plan. I've never ever wanted to know beforehand what I was having. It's always been a vision of mine to just see the doctor be like, it's a boy or it's a girl. I feel like that is the most magical thing that can ever happen. It'll just be between Adam and I, even if it's just for like 2 minutes. Even if we're the only two people who know it for just like 2 minutes, it is 2 minutes of our life that it was just us and the baby. And I just think that that is so magical, in my personal opinion. I just don't think that there's any surprises left in life. There are like so few surprises left in life, and that is such a beautiful surprise. Like I can't, again, in my personal opinion, think of anything that is more of a surprise than that is. So we're not having a gender reveal party because we're not finding out the gender of the baby. So we'll find out the gender of the baby on hopefully April 23rd if we have the baby on the actual due date or somewhere around that time. Inkling of if you are having a boy or a girl. So obviously I won't know for sure until our due date, but I am like 99.9% sure that I'm having a girl. Don't ask me how I know that. It's just a feeling that I have inside of me. When I talk to my friends about it, I sometimes refer to it as she, and then it'll hit me. I'm like, why did I just say that? Like, why did I say she? Like, I have no idea. I just have this feeling that I'm having a girl. One of the reasons why I think that I'm having a girl, apparently a big indicator, and again, this could be completely true for some people and completely false for the other people, but one big indicator is like the heart rate of the baby. If the heart rate of the baby is really high, that's sometimes an indicator that you're having a girl. And every time I've had the heart rate checked so far, it has been very, very high. And me being a newbie at this, when I had the heart rate checked for the first time, the doctor was like, the baby's heartbeat is very, very high. And I'm like, is that bad? Like, what can we do? And she's like, that's a great thing. Like, that's awesome. So the first time I had the heartbeat checked, it was 180. And the second time, I think it was 175. So that's like very, very high. And again, that's a big indicator. I have this feeling that it's a girl. I will be happy with a healthy baby, but I just have this feeling inside that it is a girl. My body has changed so drastically in these past 3 months. And again, I did some research, and all my friends who have had babies that had boys, they were just glowing their entire pregnancy. I don't feel like I'm glowing at all, and I'm gonna throw this out there because I'm just being like honest and real, and I just want this to be like a raw video of me just being real about everything. So I know some people are gonna be like, oh, what is she even talking about? But I don't feel like I have any beauty left inside of me. I feel so beautiful that I'm gonna be a mother, but like physically, I don't feel like I have any beauty left inside of me. This is the first time I'm actually wearing makeup in probably like a month, and I still don't feel like 100% confident. Not that I ever felt like super confident in the way that I looked before, but I read from like a lot of mom blogs and a lot of forums that when mothers were expecting girls, they just felt like all of their beauty was drained from them. And that is how I feel. Again, I'm not like looking for attention. I don't want everybody to be like, oh my God, you look so beautiful. I just don't feel it. At this current moment, especially in my first trimester when I was so sick, I just felt like all the beauty has been drained from me. I'm trying to work on getting that confidence back, and I actually feel a little bit better now that I'm in my second trimester and I'm like feeling a lot better. Long story short, I just don't feel the most beautiful than I ever have before. I don't feel like I'm glowing at all. Everybody says I'm glowing and I appreciate that, but this is just a personal thing for me. So between the heart rate, the way that I'm feeling, I was like super sick, and just the feeling that I have inside of me, I personally think that I'm having a girl. Do you want a Mickey Mouse or do you want a Minnie Mouse? I love this question and I apologize because the answer is going to be so generic, but I want a healthy mouse. I don't personally have a preference. Growing up, I always wanted to have a boy and a girl, so I don't really care if I have a girl first and then I have a boy second, or a boy first and then a girl second, or a boy first and then a boy, or a girl and then a girl. I really am just praying every single day for a very healthy, happy child. This is a good one. Are you still staying vegetarian throughout your pregnancy? So I would just like to address this. I never was vegetarian. I still ate fish, so I was technically pescatarian. So prior to finding out that I was pregnant, I was pescatarian for 8 months, which means I just eliminated all meat out of my diet. So to answer your question, no, I am not vegetarian nor pescatarian anymore. I decided it was my choice that I was going to be incorporating meat back into my diet. I did go see a nutritionist, and the first month I did cut meat out completely, and I still only ate like very small portions of fish. You're supposed to limit the amount of fish that you're eating when you're pregnant because of the mercury and everything else. And the nutritionist, she was like on board. She was like, a lot of people do this vegetarian, and it just didn't work out for me. My body has been craving meat like it is nobody's business. And it's really funny because when I went pescatarian, I didn't crave meat at all. I didn't miss it all. I didn't want meat at all. It was never something I was like, oh my God, that burger looks so good, and that chicken sandwich, like I need to eat it. It was never like that for me. But since I got pregnant, my body has been craving it like crazy. So my nutritionist basically said like you'd have to eat a lot more beans and a lot of lentils and nuts and stuff to get the protein, which I could have done, but I wasn't feeling great, and I again was craving it. Like I was craving meat. I still am craving meat, and I'm just giving my body what it wants right now for these next 6 months, total of 9 months, or is it 10 months? I can't really tell like how long you're actually pregnant for. But no, I'm not doing vegetarianism, nor am I doing pescatarianism. I'm just trying to eat healthier, kind of healthy, not the healthiest, but I am incorporating meat back into my diet because A, I need the protein, B, I wasn't satisfied with getting the protein through beans, through lentils and nuts and peanut butter and all that kind of stuff, and C, my body is legit craving it. Like it's literally craving it. I love this question. It says, have you felt the baby kick yet? No, I haven't felt the baby kick yet. I don't believe you start to feel the baby kick until like 5 months. I have this app and it tells you like how big your baby is according to pastries. Of course, I would choose pastries. You can choose like fruits and vegetables, toys. You can choose, I forget what the third option is, but the fourth option is like bakery items. So I picked bakery items, and right now, being in like almost the 14th week, my baby is the size of a large macaron. So it's probably like about this big. Last week it was the size of a small macaron. This week it's the size of a large macaron. So I didn't feel the baby kick yet. I haven't felt the baby kick yet, and I don't think I'll feel the baby kick for like another 2 months, but I cannot wait for that. I am so excited. I want to feel the baby kick so badly. So I am like very patiently waiting for that 5th month, and I can start to feel the baby kick and start to feel the baby inside of me. It's just, oh, I don't have words. Name ideas. Are the names inspired by Disney characters? So we do have names picked out for boy and for girl. I'm not going to release that information until the actual due date, but I will say that both of the names are inspired by characters. The boy's name is not inspired by a Disney character. It's inspired by a character that I love so much, from one of my favorite books, from one of my favorite authors, and Adam, surprisingly, is the one who came up with it. I personally wanted Liam. He wasn't on board with that. He has a cousin named Liam, and he just didn't want to name the baby boy Liam if we have a baby boy. So he brought up this name, blank, and I loved it because it automatically made me think of this character, and I fell in love with this character in the book. So we do have a boy's name that is inspired by a character, not a Disney character, but a character from one of my favorite books, from one of my favorite authors. And the female's name is Disney inspired, but it is not inspired from a character or from a movie. It's inspired more, again, from a book. You would probably get this character in a book, but not necessarily in a movie or in a TV show, or yeah, you wouldn't, I don't know how to explain. It is inspired by Disney though, but it's not inspired by a character. Sorry, that's all the information that I'm going to give out for now. Speaking of Disney, the next question that I received multiple times is the nursery going to be Disney inspired? Yes, it is going to be Disney inspired. It is going to be Toy Story themed. I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait to start decorating this nursery. Like I mentioned 100 times in this video, we're not finding out if we're having a boy or a girl, and I figured Toy Story is super gender neutral. Adam was like really on board with it. It's gonna be so cute. I have such a vision for this nursery, and I'm like putting all the pieces together in my head, and I honestly cannot wait to put it into motion. Have you started shopping for the baby yet? Well, I'll be showing you what I purchased for the baby so far. I haven't necessarily bought anything for the baby yet, but I have been going ham on buying stuff for the nursery. So let's do like a quick little pan of everything that I purchased for the nursery so far. Look how cute. So we have like a little alien guy. We have Lotso as well as Woody. We have Bullseye as well as Buzz. We have Slinky. We have ham, and I wasn't happy with this ham, so I got another ham in here because that one was too small. I'll show you that in a moment. Hello, Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head. We got ourselves a Rex. These are some gifts from friends so far. I got another ham because I wasn't happy with the size of the other one. This one's an actual piggy bank, which I think is really cute. I got the little peas. Oh, here they are. The little peas in a pod as well. This is the thing that I'm the most excited about. I want the room to look like Andy's room. So we're gonna paint the walls like a very light color blue, and then we're gonna do all of the clouds that they have in Andy's room. And then I found these on Etsy. These are like the actual drawings that Andy had on the wall. So I purchased them, and it's Woody. And then look at it, I love this one. And then we have another Woody. So cute. To Infinity and Beyond. I'm not gonna use this one. But then we have Buzz. So I have purchased some stuff so far for the nursery. When I like something, I'm like 0 to 180, and I just want to like get everything. I haven't purchased clothes yet. We had a lot of clothes sent from our friends and our family so far. But as for the nursery, I think I'm doing pretty good so far. So I got a couple of questions about Jax, whether I think he knows that I am pregnant, as well as if I think that he will be a good brother, and if I am nervous at all for him to be in the same house with a newborn. So to answer the first question, I think he knows now. Here's like a funny little story. When you get pregnant, you get very emotional. Your hormones are going all over the place, and you get very emotional. And for the first couple of months, Jax wanted nothing to do with me, which is very unlike him because he is such a cuddle bug, and not trying to sound conceited, but he loves me a lot. I love him. Like we have a very loving relationship, and he's always with me. He's always cuddling with me, and he's always like on top of me. And for the first 2 months that I was pregnant, he wanted nothing to do with me. And I'm very emotional, and I was laying in bed one night, and I just broke down. I started bawling my eyes out, not even crying, like ugly, dry heaving, crying, bawling my eyes out to Adam, being like, I don't think that Jax likes me anymore. And it was like really affecting me because he didn't want to come next to me at all. And Adam was like, he can sense that something is different, and he knows that like something is changing, and he's being very cautious. And I'm like in the back of my head, like that's not what it is. He just doesn't want to be with me anymore. And he had to like reiterate, he's like, babe, dogs can sense when you're pregnant, and he's probably sensing that something is different, and he's probably not sure what's going on, and he's getting a little cautious, and he's getting a little nervous, so he's just keeping his distance. Well, I had my cry. Now that I'm like 3 months in, I definitely think that he knows that I'm pregnant because he has not left my side. Like I'm gonna show you this picture right here. Anytime that I lay down, this is him. I hope it focuses. he has to be on top of me. He has to be right between my legs, and he does not leave there. If I get up to go to the bathroom, he follows me into the bathroom. He sits down while I'm going to the bathroom. Then I'll go back onto the couch or into the bed or into the kitchen, and he is just like glued to me, which makes me really happy, and I'm happy that it's going on again. But the first couple of months, like, he wanted nothing to do with me, and I was getting very, very emotional about it. Now that I'm 3 months in, he's like my little shadow, and he won't leave me alone. He usually jumps on me a lot, and although he still jumps a little bit, he's definitely toned that down a lot. He's very, very timid around me now, and he'll just kind of like follow me everywhere that I am going. So I do think that he senses it, and I know that dogs, like, I don't know how they do it, but I know that they like sniff out pregnancy, or they can tell that you're pregnant. I definitely think that he is pregnant, because he doesn't leave me alone now. It makes me so happy. As for, am I nervous to have the baby around Jax? First of all, I would never ever just leave a newborn in the same room with Jax and like walk away. We're gonna do it as best as we can. This is our first time being pregnant, and again, I would never just be like, oh, here's the baby, I'm gonna put the baby on the floor and then go make dinner and just have Jax babysit the baby. I would never do that. We're gonna do it as cautiously as we possibly can. We're gonna take the blanket home from the hospital and have Jax sniff it out. We're gonna be very, very cautious around him. We're never just gonna have the dog's face and the baby's face like next to each other. I'm not super worried about it, to be honest with you, because although Jax is intimidating looking to some, to me, he just looks like a big cuddle bug. We have so many kids in our family. Adam has 9 nieces and nephews, and between all my family and friends, I have like 20 on my side, and he's exposed to kids all the time, and he loves kids. The only thing I'm nervous about, I'm not nervous with him being aggressive. He's just overbearing. He is 90 pounds, but I think in his head, he thinks he's like a little lap dog. So like he'll bump into kids because he's freaking massive. So I am nervous that he's gonna like knock the kid over. And again, this is something that we're gonna be very cautious about and very safe. And we're always gonna be with the baby and Jax at the same time. So that's my biggest concern. I'm not at all worried about him being aggressive, because I don't even think he has an aggressive bone in his body. He actually got attacked by a dog before, and he just stood there, like this little tiny dog attacked him, not to like get into all the prior details, but I took Jax for a walk, and this tiny little dog like literally attacked him and kept biting him and kept biting him, and I had to like push the dog off and talk to the owner, and the owner was like, I'm sorry, he was on a leash, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time that dog was like attacking Jax and literally biting him, like he had like little bite marks in him, it wasn't bad. He was just looking at me like, Mom, can we go now? I really don't like this. He didn't once snap at the dog, and the dog was like, I literally had to like push the dog off. And he was just like, Mom, I don't really like this. Can we please continue walking? So like he's not an aggressive dog. I'm not worried about that. I am just worried about like the normal, like, hey, I'm gonna be a mom, we're gonna have a newborn. I wanna make sure it goes well. So again, we're gonna do it cautiously, but he has been so exposed to kids his whole life, from like newborn all the way up to like 18, and he's completely fine with them. Are you craving anything? It's kind of weird, because if you guys know me but at all, I have the biggest sweet tooth ever, and I'm not craving sweets at all right now. All I want is savory, salty foods. All I want are bagels. All I want is Chick-fil-A. I'm craving Chick-fil-A so bad. Like I literally will wake up and I'll be like, I need to have Chick-fil-A. I've only had it once since I got pregnant, because it's not like the healthiest of the foods, but it's definitely my like go-to cheat meal. But yeah, I'm not really having any weird cravings, but I'm definitely shifting from like being a super big sweet tooth to more of like a savory, salty type lover. I am doing these so out of order. I probably should have answered this question towards the beginning of the Q&A, but the question is, was it a planned pregnancy or was it just a wonderful surprise? I guess it was kind of a little bit of both. If you guys watch my Taco Bell mukbang from last April or last May, whatever that Taco Bell mukbang was, I had mentioned in that video that we were going to start casually trying, which means we wanted it to be a very stress-free experience for the first year. We just wanted to have fun with it. If we happened to get pregnant, beautiful. If we didn't happen to get pregnant, no big deal. If after a year we still weren't pregnant, then we would start doing more research about it, figuring out why might we not be getting pregnant. We would look into like ovulation calendars, ovulation tests, do some more research, talk to the doctors. But we did end up getting pregnant by August, which was kind of a surprise. It was definitely a big blessing in disguise. I don't think either of us thought we were going to get pregnant that fast, but we did. So it was kind of planned, but it was also like a really, really big surprise for us. This next question makes me so happy and so sad at the exact same time. The question is, did you tell your students and how did they react? So I did finally tell my students. I was starting to show a lot, and they're 5th graders. They're kind of with the times and they kind of can tell if somebody is pregnant or not. So I decided I had to tell them. So I told them in a poem. We were doing a writing project. It's called Where I'm From, and you basically have to say, I am from blank blank blank, I am from blank blank blank. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can like research it online. It's like a famous poem, and they were doing their own adaptations of that poem. So I modeled one, and in the poem I had mentioned I am from a place where my family is growing by one, and then I had to kind of like prompt them to figure out what that was, and then they finally figured it out, and they got so excited. It was so cute. I think some of the girls were like almost in tears, and it was just so sweet. And then my heart broke into like a million pieces. Everybody was so excited. They were asking me all these questions, and then one student raised their hand and they were like, does this mean that you're not going to be here for our graduation at the end of the year? And I like almost started crying, and I was like, I promise I will come back to your graduation. I'll bring the baby. I will be there for your graduation. And then all the hands went up, and they were like, does this mean that you're not finishing the year with us? And I was like, oh my God, I can't handle this. My heart can't handle this right now. And then they went from like asking me all these exciting questions to being like, wait, so you're not going to be here at the end of the year? You're leaving in April? You're not going to be here for May and June? Are you going to come back? Are you going to come visit us? Who's going to be our teacher? And I was just like, oh my God, I can't. My emotional heart cannot handle this. My hormones can't handle this. My pregnancy can't handle this right now. So overall, they were super excited, and they've been like so supportive and so cute, and they're asking so many questions. But hearing them ask if I wasn't going to be there for the graduation for the end of the year, and seeing their faces just like broke my heart, because it made me understand just how much they value me, which is, I love my class so much. But at the same time, I was like, oh my God, I'm letting these kids down. I'm letting these tiny humans down. Like, they're gonna be so sad, which makes me even more sad. So I did tell my students. They were really excited. Overall, they're really excited, but I think they didn't take the fact that I'm not gonna be there for the end of the year all that well, rightfully so. I completely understand, but I just love them. And it's actually like, I'm taking it just as hard. Like, I talked to Adam. I can't speak right now. I talked to Adam about it the other day, and I was like, I'm honestly gonna miss these kids. And I teach 5th grade, so after 5th grade, they go to middle school. So it's not like when I come back next year, I can just see them. When I leave in April, I'll probably never see these kids again, ever, unless they come visit, which is like a very slim chance. So we're gonna end it there because I'm already getting emotional right now, but I did tell them, and they were really cute about it. And they were also kind of sad. The next question is also teaching related. It is, are you going to take a year off from teaching? Now, I know I had mentioned previously in my videos, my plan was to take a year off from teaching. With being an educator, you are guaranteed to have a job for up to a year. So you're allowed to take up to a year off for maternity leave. You don't get paid for it. You only get paid for your maternity leave, which I believe is 65 days. But you can take up to a year, and you have to have your classroom held for you. They can't like give your classroom up for an entire year, whether you're doing like military leave or maternity leave, whatever it may be, you are guaranteed to have your classroom held for one entire year. So I'm not actually going to take an entire year off, but I'm going to take until January off. I can't tell you what the future is going to hold. I definitely will be going back to teaching because I absolutely love my job. I'm one of those like small percentage of people that have a job that actually love their job, and I love my job teaching. So I'm not going to take the entire year off, but if I'm due on April 23rd and all goes well, I should have the rest of April off, all of May off, some of June off, and then I would go into September for my maternity leave, maybe even into October, because September we have so many days off. I actually never take days off. Like, I'm teaching for 9 years. This is my 9th year right now. Next year will be my 10th year of teaching, and I've saved up 89 sick days. I can use 65 of them. If I have a doctor's note, I can use more, but I think you can only use up to 85 sick days for your maternity and get paid for it. So I'm gonna use the 65 to 85 sick days for my maternity leave, and then I am going to just take the rest of the time unpaid. Last but not least, if you guys are still here after this very, very lengthy video, give yourselves a round of applause, because I feel I haven't even started editing this video, I haven't even finished filming this video, but I can already tell it is going to be a lengthy one. So if you guys are still here, you're the real MVP right there. The last question in this Q&A is, do you plan on breastfeeding? I actually do. I do plan on nursing. That has been my plan since day one, since before day one. Ever since I knew I wanted to be a mom, I always knew that I wanted to nurse and I wanted to breastfeed. I hope I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. I know it's really, really hard for some moms out there to breastfeed with a child latching on, or if it's just not like producing enough milk. So I'm praying that it is something that will be in the cards for me. It is something that has always been a part of my plan and a part of my vision. So yes, I would like to breastfeed. I would like to nurse. I think it's like one of the best things that you can do for a newborn, or for a child, or for a baby, I should say. So yeah, I really would like to breastfeed, and I pray that I actually can. And that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys got a little more insight about my pregnancy at the current moment. Thank you guys so much again from the bottom of my heart for all of your well wishes, for all of your kind words, for all your support, and for all your encouragement. Since I announced that I was pregnant, I cannot tell you how much that means to me. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank you so much for making me feel even better during a time that I'm already so happy. I love you guys to the moon and back. I hope they're having an amazing day. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye guys.